is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are KINSLER.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
It was one heck of a night in Baltimore here last night. Justin Upton with a grand slam to win it for the Tigers, who also turned in a dazzling array of defensive plays. You add it all up, the Tigers have won 4 consecutive games, and they are cruising right now as we welcome you to Baltimore again tonight. Another beautiful night for baseball. Game 3 in this series featuring the Tigers and the Baltimore Orioles. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pember, Rhode Island. We are glad you are with us here tonight for Game 3 of the series. Tigers cruising along right now, Rod. Big night last night. I would guess to say and venture to say that it might have been the most spectacular and exciting game of the season for the Tigers.
I'm right there with you. I loved every moment of it. I had a lot of fun calling last night's broadcast. I know you had fun calling it. We had everything in the game. You had a classic pitching duel between Gausman and Justin Verlander. Dazzling defensive plays and the big grand slam by Upton. But speaking about Upton, how busy has this guy been getting lately? All he's been doing is driving the ball opposite way out of the ballpark, left field last night, 320 average, 19 extra base hits. He's on pace for 75 extra base hits this year. So he's just been getting a lot of done lately for the Tigers. And let's hope he gets it done once again here tonight against the left-hander Wade Miley. He's been killing lefties too this year.
All right, Tigers going for the 5th consecutive victory here in the ballgame tonight, and the Tigers Game 3 of the series coming up in just minutes. Right now we send you back to the Call Sam Studios and Mickey York. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. And by Dodge. Join the Brotherhood of Muscle at the Dodge Summer Clearance Event going on now. Great night for baseball here in Baltimore as the Tigers prepare to take on the Orioles here in Game 3 in this series. Tigers have won the first 2, trying to make it 3 straight in this set. And here is the starting lineup for the Tigers this evening. It is presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. For the Tigers, it'll be Kinsler, then Castellanos and Upton in the top 3 spots. 11 straight games in a row now for Upton on the road, followed by Cabrera and Matuk. You got Victor, the DH, McCann, Aducey, and Iglesias, your bottom 3 in this one here tonight for the Tigers. They're facing Wade Miley tonight. He is presented by Jeff Glover and Associates Realtors.
And Miley got off to a pretty good start this year, but he has really struggled lately. He comes in overall in 22 starts, 5-9, and with an ERA over 5.5. He's punched out 96, walked 63, and the league is hitting .300 against the left-hander. Let's take a look at the Baltimore Orioles starting defense. It is brought to you by Tim Hortons. Left to right, they've got Mancini, they've got Jones, and they've got Rickard. Machado, Beckham, Scope, and Davis round out the infield, and Castillo is their starting catcher. He also caught on Thursday night.
Well, the weather absolutely gorgeous for Game 3 here this evening. Not often you come to Baltimore in August and it's as pleasant as it is here tonight, but that's what the Tigers have. Fans still filing into Camden Yards. The Tigers will send Kinsler, Castellanos, and Upton to the plate here in the first inning against the lefty Miley.
And Tigers playing their best baseball right now, pretty much of the season. They're pretty much cooking on all cylinders. They've won 4 in a row.
Ian Kinsler is hit safely now in 7 consecutive ball games, batting .244 to get this thing started. He's got a home run that came in Game 1 of the series to lead off the game. Infield playing him to pull as Miley looks in for the sign. And here we go. Kinsler looks at ball 1 to get it started tonight.
Miley has a fastball that tops out at about 92. He throws quite a few sliders. He throws that about 19% of the time. He'll cut the fastball. He also has a slider and a changeup.
Got the call there on the outside corner, 1-1.
He will work away most of the time, but with 2 strikes, Miley likes to come inside against the right-handed batters.
A native of Hammond, Louisiana. Miley acquired last year by the Orioles at the trade deadline. 2-1 on Kinsler. Ian grounds it foul back toward the Tiger dugout.
Here's how he attacks right-handers. Fastballs early in the count, he goes away, likes to come inside with 2 strikes, as I told you. Did not throw 1 slider in his last start, and it wasn't a very good start for him.
Ian takes a ball inside, and the count will fill now 3-2. Waiting on deck, Castellanos in the number 2 spot this evening. 3-2 pitch is fouled off. I will say this, the Tigers have done a good job on this road trip of scoring early, getting some runs in the first inning in the first 2 games in this series.
Very important.
And they'll be hoping to do so tonight to help out Drew Verhagen, making his first start of the year. There's a chopper to third, foul.
That's what Miley will do. His top fastball is about 93, but he knows hitters with 2 strikes are waiting just a split second longer because they don't want to get fooled on the breaking ball, and that's where he feels like he can crowd some of the right-handers. That last fastball pretty firm at 93 on the inside part of the plate to Ian Kinsler.
Another foul as Kinsler stays alive in a ball that was low and in.
As a matter of fact, if you look at all the pitches pretty much that Miley has thrown to Ian Kinsler in this pitch sequence, only 2 pitches have been away. Everything else has been inside.
This is turned into a 9-pitch at bat to begin this ball game here. And it ends with a strikeout as Kinsler goes down swinging. 1 gone.
Pretty good fastball here by Miley. It's off the plate outside. Ian may have left the strike zone, but he knew he was going to get a fastball.
Here is Nicholas Castellanos batting in the 2 spot for Detroit tonight. Castellanos is 0 for 7 in the series.
It's been a rough trip for Castellanos. Maybe he can get it going tonight against the left-hander Wade Miley.
There's ball 1. You know, we always talk about how this is such a good hitter's ballpark, but it just has not been for Nick over the years, which is kind of strange.
Yeah, you can't tell Nick this is a hitter-friendly ballpark.
He is now 3 for 44 in this yard. And that's an 0.68 average. That can change on one swing here. 2-0 the count. Nick right now trying to bust out of an 0 for 14 slump. Swing and a miss, 2-1.
Pretty good cutter there. Yeah, thrown by Miley. 4-seam fastball about 93. When you see 87 to 90, that is usually the cutter.
Miley has had difficulty with the walks this year. He's walked a ton. And he'll miss inside to go to 3-1 now on Nick.
And 3 ball counts on the first 2 batters of the ball game tonight for Wade Miley.
One of last night's heroes, Upton, waiting on deck.
Yesterday's game was about as good as it gets.
Pretty much had everything. Tigers had some clutch hitting. We had great pitching from Verlander and Gausman, really. Great defense. 3-1. Drilled to left field on a line, base hit. Castellanos with a 1-out single. Tigers get their first hit tonight. That'll bring up Upton.
And Nicholas got himself into a fastball favorable count, and he got a fastball. It was a cutter, and he drilled to the left field. He smoked that ball to the left fielder Mancini on 1 hop.
That is hit number 499 in his career, 1 shy of 500 now for Castellanos. Bearing down on a milestone in his young career. Here is Upton. Jay Up now has hit safely in 6 straight. The grand slam he belted last night was his 3rd of the season, and also his 20th home run. In there, a strike called right at the knees.
Justin Verlander hit 101 in last night's game. 101. Man, did he have his foot on the gas pedal last night. About 45 of the 107 pitches, 50, 95 and above.
10 strikeouts with no walks last night for JV. In there again. Upton thought it was low. 0-2.
Yeah, Miley first 2 pitches to Justin Upton, both down at the bottom of the strike zone. More than likely he will try to climb the ladder with at least 1 fastball to see if he can get Jay Up to chase something. Jay Up has been on fire. He kills lefties. Lots of damage with runners in scoring position. And he's got 20 homers.
Drilled to left field on a line. That ball is deep and gone. A 2-run shot. Jay Up remains red hot. And the Tigers have a 2-0 lead.
Are you kidding me, partner? I mean, seriously. That ball left Justin Upton's bat at 110 miles an hour.
Nobody can get him out these days. Homer number 21. That one was of the line drive variety.
That ball got out of the yard in about 2.5 seconds. Little cut fastball, little breaking ball down something at 88 miles an hour.
Miley got ahead in the count, and Upton got him. 21st home run of the year for Jay Up. 2-0 Tigers. That one bounces in. 1-0 on Cabrera. Upton's got to be feeling now like that baseball looks like a basketball coming up there. His last 7, he's hit .407 with 5 homers.
It's incredible. And Buck Showalter not real happy right now. I don't think I'd be happy either. I know you can't really walk Justin in that situation, but once you get ahead, no balls and 2 strikes, you've got to make a better pitch.
Right.
You've got to make a better competitive pitch than he got right there. give J Up all the credit in the world, but Miley has to be better than that.
Middlemas outside, and now the count on Cabrera's gone 3-0.
With what's at stake for the Baltimore Orioles and them trying to run down one of the wild card spots, they might be done pitching to Justin Upton the rest of the series.
The 3-0 swung out and missed. Miggy took a hack on 3-0. Well, they always say identify that one guy that you don't want to beat you, and right now that one guy in the lineup is without question Upton.
Yeah, he's beat him every day.
3-1 is low. That's going to be ball 4. So Miley's Rocky first continues. 3 straight have reached. Bring the catcher Castillo out to the mound.
Tigers have hit a home run in every single game in the first inning of the series. A doozy yesterday, Justin Upton and KINSLER on Thursday, and J Up once again today. Back to your point of how early and often the Tigers have been scoring.
Yeah, you know, the first inning has been huge, and really when you look at the streak, the Tigers have won 4 straight now, working on a 5-gamer. They have scored first in all those games.
And Justin Upton was talking to Johnny Kane after the game last night, and he was talking about just how much fun they're having. I mean, really, it is fun to come to the ballpark now. It's fun for everybody. Fun for the broadcasters, fun for the players, the coaches. Everybody has a little extra pep in their step when you're winning ball games.
Tigers came in 51 and 57 as they try and inch back to 500. Then who knows what can happen. They entered play tonight 5 games down in the wild card chase, and Brad, as he normally does, was just real matter of fact today, saying, look, I just want to win tonight. And that's my attitude every day. Let's win tonight, worry about tomorrow.
I think Brad understands the fact that you brought up, that really no one in baseball is going to take you all that seriously until you do get your record back to 500, and they're inching their way back to 500.
By the way, Upton in the first inning this year is batting .417. He is added to that with a 2-run shot here tonight.
And 4 homers in the first inning.
Miley, meanwhile, does not have a very good ratio. 2-2 on Mikey Matuk.
Justin Upton is just on fire. I mean, he is hitting balls from the top of the strike zone to the bottom of the strike zone. Home runs down the right field line, right center field, left center, and left. There's no part of the ballpark that's safe these days with Justin Upton in the batter's box.
The 2-2. Line drive to left. That's going to drop. Base hit. Wasn't hit all that hard, but Mikey got enough of it, and the Tigers now have runners at first and second.
And Tigers had a great scouting report on Miley before the contest, knowing that with 2 strikes he's going to try to come inside, and they've already made him pay on a couple of occasions here today.
You know, Rod Gosman was awfully good last night for them, but the way the Tigers hit around Tillman and the way they're getting off to a start here against Miley, this Orioles team, man, their starting pitching is really hurting them at this point.
Yeah, because offensively they've got a really good offensive team. They score bunches of runs. Their bullpen is very, very good, although they blew a save in last night's game. But if they could get these pitchers to get in line, they might be able to make the next couple of months very interesting. But if Tillman and this guy Miley don't get it together, they're not going anywhere.
2 on and 1 out, and Victor Martinez will stand in. Miley is about to throw his 28th pitch. Vimar to double in the series, 2 out of 8. And Victor looks at strike 1.
Yeah, first breaking ball that Miley has thrown. Little slider there. We told you in his last outing against the Texas Rangers, he did not throw 1 slider in that game.
Martinez 1 for 6 against Miley in his career, but that one is a homer. That's at the knees, and now Miley again gets ahead 0-2.
And Miguel Cabrera, and once he gets on second base, he'll check all the defenders, the second baseman, the shortstop. Wants to make sure he knows where everybody's playing, just in case the ball's hit on the line. You want to know where you can go and where you shouldn't go, which is very important for all players when they're on the base paths.
Chopper to the shortstop. This might be 2. There's a 6, a 4, and a 3 double play. Miley desperately needed that, and he got it. However, the Tigers scored first. Who's the hottest guy on the planet right now? Justin Upton. That's who. A 2-run shot in the first inning. The Tigers have taken the lead, and J-Up is absolutely on fire. Tampa scoring first. They've done it again here tonight. They lead 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the first inning. And Drew Verhagen will get the start tonight for the Tigers, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Drew making his first start in the big leagues this year. However, he made 19 starts down in Toledo, 7-7 with an ERA approaching 5. Drew has a fastball that will top out at about 96. He throws lots of ground balls, so we'll watch for that if he has that really good sinker here tonight to keep the ball on the ground against this dangerous Baltimore offense.
Good of his teammates to get him a couple of runs. Thanks to that guy, Justin Upton, 2-run homer. Here's Adam Jones. He'll lead it off and look at ball 1 from Verhagen.
In 3 of the 4 plate appearances last night for Adam Jones, their leadoff hitter, he put the first ball in play, so he likes to swing early and often.
And there is strike called, 1-1.
And Verhagen also has a split-fingered fastball, doesn't throw a changeup. He throws a curveball, a slider, 4-seam fastball, and a 2-seamer that he gets lots of ground balls with.
Ground ball right to the shortstop, Iglesias. And 1 gone. Here's the rest of the Orioles lineup, presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. You saw Adam Jones leading it off. Manny Machado is next, and then Jonathan Scope, Davis, Mancini, Beckham, who's been red hot since joining the Orioles, and then Smith, Castillo, and Rickard. Beckham also good numbers overall against the Tigers. Here's Machado. Verhagen gets the call today with Fulmer on the disabled list. Tigers got a nice long deep outing from Verlander last night, so they didn't have to go deep into the bullpen, which allowed Drew to make the start this evening. There's a strike call. Michael, of course, on the disabled list with the elbow problem, the inflammation.
Over there sitting next to his mentor, Justin Verlander. And that's a nice mentor to have. Michael always talks about the fact that they talk all the time and pretty much has adopted the routines that Justin has when they're not pitching.
Little chopper back up the middle. Kinsler off to his right. And Machado is out. Well, right on cue, a couple of ground ball outs for Verhagen.
And let's take a peek at the Tigers starting defense while we have a moment. Mikey Matuk is in center field. Ducey getting the start today against the left-hander Miley. He's in right, Upton in left. Castellanos, Iglesias, Kinsler, Miguel Cabrera in the infield, and James McCann, 7th consecutive start. It's caught every single game on the road trip.
Here is Jonathan Scope batting with the bases empty. It's in there. Strike 0-1. .302 for Scope, 1 for 8 in the series, has a double. Borrega has made only 2 relief appearances in his career against the Orioles. Both of them came in this ballpark, so they really haven't seen him a whole lot. Tigers have staked him to a 2-0 lead. 2-1 on Scope. 79 driven in this year for Scope, which leads their ball club. And when you think about that, they've got Jones on this team, they got Davis, they got Machado, and yet it's the second baseman Scope that leads them in RBI.
He's really matured. Made an all-star team this year. Shortstop by trade, but he's turned himself into a really good second baseman.
Right back up the middle into center field, base hit. 2-out single for Scope. That'll bring up Chris Davis.
Well, you wonder how Verhagen will attack Davis. And Verlander attacked him with a lot of fastballs right around the belt buckle or higher in yesterday's game. That's a pitch where Davis does not handle the ball that well. He does like the ball on the inner third. That's where he does most of his damage. He's hit a lot of big league home runs. He's got a lot of power.
Only a couple of walks in this series for Davis. So far, they've been able to keep him in check. And he skies one in the air to shallow left field. Here comes Upton, and that'll end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Nothing lead in this one on the home run by Upton, and there's Steve Kelm on the left here. He's wearing the blue shirt. He's an associate producer for the Detroit Tigers.
Hanging out with his dad, Rick.
Fox Sports Detroit, hanging out. He's a fan tonight. Should be in the truck, but
him and his dad creating some memories.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. James McCann will lead things off. It'll be McCann, Adduci, and Iglesias facing Wade Miley in the second. Ball 1 to McCann.
And James McCann has been locked in for the last really calendar month. And he's gotten that batting average all the way up to 252. Swinging the bat as well as we've seen James McCann swing the bat in the Tigers uniform.
Mac trying to extend that hitting streak right now at 14 straight. And he went to his last at bat each of the last 2 nights to extend the streak.
Well, the at bat he had last night against Givens, one of their really good relievers, he and also Iglesias. I mean, that kind of set the stage for Jay up.
2-1. Ten home runs on the year for McCann, a .252 batting average now. Here is Miley's 2-1 pitch. And now 2-2. Pretty good bender there from Miley.
Well, possibly. Roger McDowell, the pitching coach, has got into Miley's ear and told him to mix in a few more breaking balls after trying to bully the Tigers with a 93-mile-per-hour fastball in the first inning. Doesn't happen very often.
Ground ball to second. Ranging left there is Scope. McCann is out, 1 away.
Of course, Justin Upton had the big home run real late in the contest, grand slam variety, but it was a doozy. They got him on the board first against a really good pitcher, slicing one the opposite way for a solo shot in the very first inning. First home run as a Tiger for a doozy. And now he has bragging rights, Mario, in his own home. He now has more career home runs than his daddy.
He's got what, 2?
He's got 2. His daddy's got 1.
So there you go. Good for them. It had been 1,090 days between home runs for Adduci, but he had a big one last night. You know, Adduci is a lefty here, and Brad gives him the start against the left-handed pitcher. Now he's got him batting lower in the lineup, but the reason is several years ago he faced Miley in the minor leagues and was 3 for 3 against him.
Really?
And so
they dug that deep.
He dug that deep, and Brad said, I'm going to stick with him. He hit a big homer last night, and he's 3 for 3 against Miley.
Well, he got a nice approach anyway. He drives the ball the opposite way with the best of them.
Pulled foul that time, 1-2.
Now, did Brad say where they dug those numbers up, or did Adduci tell him that?
No, I have no idea. Maybe Adduci went to him and said, hey, look, man, back in the day in the minor leagues, I believe it was 2011.
Look at all the hits the other way, though. Left field. He loves to hit the ball the other way. It's amazing what they can find with these numbers these days.
In fact, one of those hits was a home run, I believe. There's a ground ball to short. At that time, as Beckham throws him out, 2 gone. So 3 straight ground balls now for Miley. Of course, he got the double play to end the first. Here's Iglesias. Really haven't talked a whole lot about Jose and how hot he's been. 353 over his last 17.
We were talking about him on the defensive end last night, and we do that quite often, talking about his heroics with his glove. If this young man doesn't win a Gold Glove this year, as you said, he may not ever get one.
I agree. And when you look at last night's game, he also, with McCann, had a clutch knock in the 8th inning, a single, which set things up.
That play he made yesterday, 15 feet to the left, up the middle, grabbed it, and then threw accurately to Miguel Cabrera. There's not a lot of shortstops that can make that play.
And really, until you slow a play like that down and watch it over, you really don't realize how difficult of a play that was. Not only getting to the ball, but to have the arm strength after doing a pirouette. That'll miss low. Once again, Miley falling behind. 3 balls and 1 strike. And Iglesias gets a walk, 2 out base on balls. Second walk already for Miley, who averages about 5 per 9. Well, stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites, now being served all day. Here is KINSLER with 2 outs. Ian struck out to start the game.
And just about everything that Miley threw Ian KINSLER in his first at bat were fastballs inside, finally punched him out with a heater away.
No balls in, 1 strike. That's in there, a strike call.
Good take by Ian. He is not happy with that call right there by Jeff Nelson. Ian thought that ball was low.
Nick waiting on deck. Castellanos, that is. 0-2 on Kinsler. It was a 2-strike pitch that Upton hit out against Miley. And he missed outside. He threw him a changeup off-speed pitch that just missed the zone. Jeff Nelson, your crew chief, is the home plate ump tonight. Ortiz, Blazer, and Eddings surround the bases. The 1-2. 2-2. Miley's about to throw his 50th pitch already. It's the breakdown. 30 in the first and now 20 here in the second. Wade Miley has thrown over 1,000 big league innings. He crossed that plateau earlier this year. He's been with Arizona, Boston, Seattle. Orioles got him from Seattle at the trading deadline last July. Fouled away as Kinsler continues to hammer away at Miley.
And Miley trying to finish off Ian Kinsler the exact same way that he was able to do so back in the first inning. Several pitches at the bottom of the strike zone and inside, and then a fastball away with strike 2, trying to get a swing and miss.
Swing and a miss, and he finally takes care of Kinsler. He has struck him out twice in this game. We go to the bottom of the second here in Baltimore. It's still 2-0 Tigers. Tigers on top 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. The Tigers battle the Pirates this Wednesday and Thursday. Save on great seats with the weekday value packet. 4 tickets, hot dogs, chips, and drinks. All for just $19 per person. Tigers.com or 866-66-TIGER, the phone number. Mancini leads it off for the Orioles. Beckham and then Smith to follow. Drew Verhagen gave up a 2-out single. No damage in the first, though. That'll miss low and away. 2 balls to no strikes on Trey Mancini, who did not play last night. He fouled a ball off his kneecap in game 1 and sat down for game 2 last night.
I think he picked a pretty good day to take off, though, too. And the way Justin Verlander was throwing that ball last night, he was probably sitting on the bench thinking to himself, well, it's not a bad day to have off tonight.
Pretty good coincidence. And a strike called. 3-1 on Mancini, having a really good rookie season. 403 with men in scoring position this year. Good to face him leading off an inning. He'll chop one to third base. Easy play there for Nick. Another ground ball out, and we bring in Johnny Kane.
Yeah, guys, listen, I was talking with James McCann earlier today and talking about his opportunity to catch Drew Verhagen. And he said, you know, the main thing is he's pitched at this level, had success at this level, and certainly had some success as a starter down in Toledo this year. So he said, what we've got to do is just approach this as just another start. Got to attack the zone with all your pitches. He said the thing that he really appreciates about Drew Verhagen is the fact he's worked extremely hard to get to where he's at, taught himself how to throw the slider. Used to be fastball, curveball, changeup. Now he comes back equipped fastball, curveball, changeup, slider.
Well, it's certainly something that is added to his arsenal, and Drew was saying the other day that it's been such a big difference for him as Beckham stands in.
And a couple of years ago, 2015, when Drew came to the big leagues, he was pitching out of the bullpen, and he threw 74% rate ground balls. He was unbelievable in 20 outings out of the bullpen. But he wanted to be a starter. And when it became apparent he was going to go back to the minor leagues to begin this season, he asked could he go back down as a starter.
He did that in spring training. The Tigers obliged, and he went down to Toledo, made 19 starts with the Mud Hens. It'll drop low and away. 1-2 on Beckham.
They've got to make this young man uncomfortable. He is on point. He has 11 hits as an Oriole already in just 4 games. He's got that leg kick, and every guys that have leg kicks, somehow you have to make them uncomfortable with the leg kick, and the way you do that is by throwing some breaking balls to disrupt the timing of the leg kick.
Two on Beckham. Well, Beckham now with 4 straight multi-hit games since being acquired by the Orioles. He has done more than they probably expected offensively early on here.
I would agree with that.
Including an opposite field home run earlier in the series. Swing and a miss, and down he goes.
That's a good pitch to disrupt the timing. Outstanding breaking ball there thrown by Verhagen to record his first strikeout of the evening. Watch this pitch come off the table.
That thing had big time break on it. There are 2 gone now, and here is Smith. DHing tonight, Seth Smith. He's hit safely in 3 in a row. Had a double in the ball game last night. There were so many key spots in that game last night. Smith hit that double in the 7th inning with the Orioles leading. That put runners at 2nd and 3rd, and then of course that big controversial play when Caleb Joseph struck out when he was hit by a Verlander pitch.
Right.
The Orioles said he should have been hit and taken first base, but he was called out by Jeff Nelson swinging. Then the Orioles went on, the Tigers rather, went on to get the big grand slam.
And so far, Drew pretty good in first pitch strikes thrown. He's 5 of 7, which is the way you want to attack the Baltimore Orioles. They're so dangerous when hitting fastballs. You have to get ahead so you can expand the strike zone with a mixture of good fastballs and breaking balls.
3-1 now on Seth Smith. Should he reach Wellington, Castillo waiting on deck. Playing to pull on the infield. Three-1 is a ball high, ball 4. 2 on base runner for the 2nd straight inning. They'll bring up Castillo. First walk of the game for Verhagen. Pretty good year offensively for Castillo, batting .280. Hit safely in 6 in a row. Strike one. 93-mile-an-hour fastball inside part of the plate.
Another first pitch strike for Drew.
That'll bend low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. There are the numbers on Castillo. 10 home runs this year, 34 driven in. A couple of years ago, 19 homers, his career high, with 3 separate ball clubs: Seattle, Arizona, and the Cubs. Ground ball up the middle. Iglesias spinning play. He'll get the force at second.
I see you, Iggy.
Iglesias with that magic glove, man, those soft hands. That'll be it for the Orioles. Hard hit ball. Doesn't matter to Iggy. Tigers on top 2-0 as we go to the top of the 3rd now here in Baltimore, and Menards brings you the big money encounter. As you look at the walks per 9, Miley now over 5.
It's tough to win that way. That's why he has such a poor record and such an elevated earned run average. That is pitching in a whole lot of traffic.
So far tonight, Miley giving up the home run to Jay Up. That's the biggest hit of the ball game, but he's also walked a couple already. Pitch count really high.
And Nicholas Castellanos looking for a milestone hit here. Number 500 in his young big league career. Hit a frozen rope to left field his first time up and came around to score on the Justin Upton 2-run tater in the first.
2-0.
He might just do it in big fashion with big fly.
It could be. They're starting to shift now in the infield. With a 2-0 count, he'll take 2-1. This would be the ballpark to do it in, even though his numbers have not been good overall here. Miley ready with the 2-1.
That's a good take right there by Nick. That ball didn't miss by a whole lot, and in a 2-1 count, most guys are a lot more aggressive on that pitch, but he just spit on it. He's seen the ball real well so far tonight.
Drill to right field, slicing foul. And now 3-2 on Castellanos. Nick, then Upton, and then Cabrera. 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup. The single by Castellanos in the first, snapped an 0 for 14. High fly ball, right center field. That ball hit pretty good. Going to the track, going to the wall, and caught right at 373. Rickard up against the wall. Oh, you almost called that.
Almost.
Gave it a ride.
Ball carries very well in this ballpark. It yields a lot of homers. And that classic uppercut inside out swing by Nicholas. And gave it a ride. But Rickard runs it down, and then he kind of backs into that 373 sign.
Here is Upton.
He gonna get a strike?
If he does, he's gonna have to swing in one in the dirt, I think.
I wouldn't throw him a strike for the rest of the series.
Jay up now with the grand slam last night. Has hit a grand slam in each of Verlander's last 2 starts. This time he'll roll it to the shortstop. Scope, or make it Beckham rather, throws him out there. 2 gone.
Well, he and Verlander are Virginia natives,
That's
Virginia
right.
buddies. So taking care of one another.
Hit one in his last start against Houston, and of course last night here.
That one against Houston was the opposite way. It was right down the right field line at Comerica Park.
We'll bring up Cabrera now with 2 outs. Miggy had a walk but did not score in the first inning. Did not go.
And Miley has started to start off a lot of these Tigers with off-speed pitches. Their second time through. As a matter of fact, he started doing it last half inning with James McCann. Started McCann off with a couple of benders.
4 of 13 on first pitch strikes. We have seen a lot of 2-0 counts tonight. Here's another one against Cabrera.
Six 2-0 counts to be exact, Mario.
Already?
Yeah. Surprised the Tigers haven't done a little bit more damage hitting in the fastball friendly counts. Miguel sits in 1 right now.
Tardy on the fastball to run the count to 2-1.
At 91. I was watching Miguel take batting practice today, and it just looked like every single swing, even more so than most of the time, everything to right center field, everything to right field. He's really concentrating on trying to stay on the baseball. He's already walked 1 time in the game.
3-1. Outfield playing deep on Cabrera. Nobody on, 2 out here in the third. 2-0 Tigers. Bender drops in at the top of the strike zone. Miley got a call there. 3-2.
Yeah, Mickey didn't like it, but it might have caught the top of the strike zone. Started this ball way up, and you can see where it lands. Also pulled down in the strike zone by Castillo, the catcher.
Here's Mikey Matuk.
Center fielder, number 15, Mikey Matuk.
Buck Showalter's team was in the thick of it at the trading deadline. Therefore, they started adding pieces in the wild card race, at least. But Tigers have come in here and won 2 games. They lead here in the third.
Yeah, Baltimore was hot when the Tigers rolled into town. They had won 5 games in a row. You and I were talking earlier about the New York Yankees. When we got to New York last week, the Yankees were a half a game in first place over the Boston Red Sox. At start of play today, just 5 days, they're 3 games back.
It changes that quickly.
It does happen quickly.
The Tigers, the last time they've won 5 in a row against Baltimore, and they've won 4 straight against the Orioles. You've got to go back to 09, the last time they beat the O's 5 straight games. You got a chance to do it here tonight. 0-2 on Mikey Matuk. Bouncing in, he's done that several times tonight.
Real nice block there by Castillo. And when you see the ball and you call for the curveball, first of all, you have to somehow get that glove down between your legs so the ball doesn't go through, and then you kind of bend your body from the waist over, hoping that when the ball does make contact with the chest protector, it simply falls right in front of you. That's textbook right there by Castillo.
Two and two. Mikey singled to left field in his last at bat. He was on base in 18 straight before that streak came to an end in last night's game. Good shot at the setup of Matuk.
Stands as deep as possible in that batter's box.
Now he's got the count in his favor, 3-2. Miley looked like he was going to finally have a quick inning, but it's extended now. 72 pitches. Soft line drive to right, base hit. Cabrera will go to second base. Matuk goes the other way, and he is 2 for 2. Mikey's living large these days. 2-out threat now for the Tigers, and that'll bring up Victor Martinez.
Mikey didn't do a whole lot with the bat yesterday, but he made 3 really good defensive plays. So he took some runs away yesterday with the way that he was playing defense in center field.
Yeah, we tend to concentrate on the leaping play, but he made a couple of plays on balls that were hit pretty hard.
Yeah, one in right center field against Adam Jones, and he also took a base hit away from Scope.
Victor bounced into a double play in his first at bat. Ball 1. At this rate, the Orioles will have to go to the bullpen early tonight. Miley continues to fall behind hitters. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball there. Tigers got 2 in the first and the home run by Upton. 2 on 2 out here in the third. Strike called. Well located fastball there from Miley.
And Victor might have been looking for another one of those breaking balls and from Miley, therefore he took that fastball. Victor doesn't take many fastballs.
Martinez now 1 for 7 career versus Miley, but the one hit was a homer. Tigers trying to extend their lead with a 2-out base hit. Cabrera walked and Matuk singled. Now Bmart steps out. Here's the 1-2. Pulled foul, third base side. Got out in front of that breaking ball. Miley several years ago actually was second in the Rookie of the Year voting. That was in 2012 when Bryce Harper won it. Over in the National League, Miley had a big year with the Diamondbacks. Best year was a 16-game winner in 2012. 16 and 11 that year. Fouled away. One and 2 on Martinez. On the ground with the shortstop Beckham. He'll flip to second for the force. Settle in the inning. Tigers threatening but do not score.
Tire pitch by pitch. Verhagen making his first start in the big leagues this year after making several starts in the minor leagues, throwing lots of ground balls already, lots of weak contact. He's already had a couple of strikeouts as well with that breaking ball against Tim Beck, and he threw a really good breaking ball. Verlander a couple of years ago has really thrown the slider a lot with the fastball, but going back down to the minors and working as a starter, has started throwing that curveball again.
Here's the pitch usage on Verhagen. He'll deliver a strike to Joey Rickard.
And continuing to fill up that strike zone with a lot of quality first pitches.
Rickard, Jones, Machado. Will miss outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Drew out of Vanderbilt University.
That's a good school.
It's a real good school. It's been a real good athletic school too in terms of producing players. Did not go there on the check swing. 2-1. Tigers have so many young arms right now at the lower levels of their minor leagues. Matt Manning was just called up to West Michigan. Here's the 2-1. Names like Manning and Bo Burrows and Funkhauser. Faedo, who is the #1 pick, or the first-round pick the Tigers had this year.
Well, that's how you get good. And really, you've watched the Kansas City Royals the last number of years. You've watched the Houston Astros.
Slice down the right field line, looking like trouble. It's a foul ball.
Yeah, you start to draft well, then you get those players into your minor league system, and you get them with your minor league staff, and then you start to hone on their skills. And once they get to the big leagues, you have them for a long time. You have them under control for a long time. Brad has to be pleased with a lot of the guys that have come up from the minor leagues this year, and whether it be Hicks or Ducey or Presley at times, they've all done well.
I think because the Tigers had so many good young arms in the system, they concentrated on getting some position players. That ball is popped up left side. It'll be Iglesias for the out, 1 gone. You know, of the trades that they've consummated here toward the deadline, they picked up a lot of infielders.
Yep, a lot of corner infielders, middle infielders, athletic guys with really good tools.
Here's Adam Jones.
And Jones likes to swing at the first pitch. I know Drew Verhagen is very aware of that fact. Not your typical leadoff hitter. Doesn't like to work counts. He's up there to do some damage. Jones has had a marvelous career.
Drill toward left center field. That ball is going to get down. It'll go to the wall. Got by Matuk. Jones on his way to second. And he's going to pull in with a 1-out double.
Jones did not swing at the first pitch his first time up after swinging at the first pitch on 3 of his 4 plate appearances yesterday. Drew is already throwing a lot of first pitch strikes. Adam knew that, and he picked on the first fastball that he got, and he scorched this ball into the left center field gap for a stand-up double. Good swing by Adam Jones. That ball got too much plate. Speaking of the first pitch strikes, he's good in that regard, but at some point in time, he's going to have to start to throw some breaking balls and sliders on the first pitches. 8 of 10, but most of the first pitches have been fastballs. You have to start to flip the script second time through the lineup.
Now Manny Machado, who is 0 for 1 with a ground out. Orioles have their second hit. And Machado takes a breaking ball. There you go.
I like it. I like that, though, because you put the thought of the breaking ball in the hitter like Machado's mind, and that might make them just a split second late on the fastball. And that's all you're hoping for.
Now, when you talk about flipping the script and changing your approach, is that incumbent on the catcher the second time through the lineup to get that done?
It's on both guys, really. I mean, because if you're McCann, obviously you've got a lot of stuff to do. I mean, you're looking in at Brad, you're getting signs from him, you're watching what's going on in the field. But at the same time, if you're Verhagen, you have to understand, too, if guys are starting to swing at your first pitch fastball. So 3 curveballs in a row, and I just absolutely love it. Now he can get away with the fastball because Machado, in the back of his mind, he might not be looking for that breaking ball, but he's thinking about it, and that might make him late on the fastball.
1-2 on Manny Machado.
It's got to be a well-located fastball. They're going to go with 1 up, I believe.
To right field, slicing. And Ducey will run it down. Jones tagging. He's coming to third base. He'll get there. Machado is out 2 away.
Now here's a fastball upstairs. And Manny, in the back of his mind, might be thinking about the off-speed pitch. Therefore, he didn't quite get it the way he would like to. And that's not really hard contact. That's soft contact because of the 3 prior curveballs. That's pitching right there.
So with 2 outs, here is Jonathan Schoop. A little frustration there from Machado.
Might want to do Schoop the same way.
Well, he missed. Oh, he got the zone. Bottom of the zone, 0-1.
It appears that Jeff Nelson is going to call that low strike because we've seen several balls at the bottom of the zone today called strikes by him for both teams.
Swinging a foul at home plate.
Nice adjustment made by McCann and also Verhagen.
The breaking ball has put him ahead 0-2. Davis on deck. Well, he approached it the same way, went up there with the fastball up, but he let it go by. 1-2 now on Schoop.
Here's one situation where I might gamble if I'm Verhagen and McCann. I might take the liberty of maybe going with 1 more fastball just to see.
Four-seamer spun McCann around.
The hardest pitch that he's thrown tonight, 95. Really yanked that fastball. Nice job by McCann just to catch that ball, prevent the wild pitch and the run scoring.
Well, we learned last night that I guess it's not a guarantee off that brick wall.
That's right.
Come right back to the catcher, and the Tigers took advantage of that. Ground ball to third, foul. Right behind Jones.
Verhagen really likes that curveball, doesn't he?
Throwing it a lot.
Apparently he worked on it long and hard in Toledo along with the slider. He's always had the built-in sinker ball. He's thrown a lot of ground balls already, but that breaking ball has been a good pitch for him. That little fella got himself a baseball.
And fired up about it. The 2-2. Drill to left center field. That's going to get down and get to the wall. Schoop has extra bases on his way to second. He's in with a 2-out RBI double. And the Orioles are on the board.
The Tigers came into the series knowing that Jonathan Schoop was their best offensive player. They had been able to slow him down until today. He is 2 for 2 with a single and a double and an RBI.
Verhagen went back to the breaking ball, and Schoop was waiting for it. That'll bring up Chris Davis. Clutch 2-out hit for Schoop, who now has 80 RBIs on the year. Davis flied out. 0 for 1. And he starts him off with a breaking ball. So now when did the Orioles start making adjustments of their own here?
Well, Schoop did. Schoop got him a breaking ball that was a pretty good pitch to hit, and he wasn't necessarily looking for a fastball. So you just have to continually change almost from pitch to pitch when you're going up against a talented offense like Baltimore, because they feed off guys that get into patterns.
Fastball up there, 1 ball, 1 strike.
That young man has had a really nice year.
All-star year for Schoop.
29 doubles, 24 RBI. 24 homers already, 80 RBIs.
One and 2 on Davis.
Davis just can't lay off that elevated fastball.
It's kind of always been that way, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've been pitching him like this for the last 5 years. I mean, he does his fair share of damage. He will connect every now and then, but by and large, that pitch upstairs is not his friend.
Davis started his career in Texas. He's done most of his damage with the Orioles, though. Way inside. Again, that fastball at 95, the hard four-seamer that Verhagen is throwing, not commanding it all that well.
Yeah, those 2 fastballs at 95, I think he overthrew both of those, therefore did not throw those near the strike zone.
Whistled foul back in the seats. Davis's biggest year in the big leagues, 53 home runs. A couple of years back, that was in 2013, the only season he has made an all-star team with all the home runs this guy's hit and all the runs he's driven in, only 1 all-star team. Drew now 5 pitches, 95 and above. It'll bounce in. Phil, the count now 3-2. Trey Mancini on deck, and he has been death with runners in scoring position. One out double by Jones, 2 out double by Schoop. That's how the Orioles have gotten on the board. Three and 2. There goes the runner to third. It's ball 4, and Schoop is at third standing up. And that throw by McCann bounced into Castellanos, who wasn't even on the bag. Tigers got fortunate that ball didn't go in the left.
Yeah, McCann probably shouldn't even thrown that ball down toward third because Nick obviously wasn't anticipating that Scope was going to steal. A nice job by Nick just to pick that ball.
No doubt. You look at the veterans now. You got Kinsler, you got Cabrera walking to the mound here to try and calm down Verhagen. Now first and third, and Trey Mancini stands in.
Well, this is the last guy that you really wanted to pitch to in this particular situation because he's been one of the best in all of baseball with runners in scoring position.
403 for Mancini. And as you mentioned the other night, had it not been for Aaron Judge, you're talking about this guy as maybe potential rookie of the year.
He's had a nice year.
Tying run at third now. Mancini fouls it off 0-1. Notre Dame product is Trey Mancini. As was Jeff Samardzija. Pollock of the Diamondbacks also went to Notre Dame. The 0-1. Ground ball short. Iglesias will get the force. And the inning is over. The Orioles settle for one. As we go to the top of the fourth inning, it'll be James McCann to lead things off for the Tigers. Here's the Bernstein advantage. It's been McCann's advantage recently. Active hit streaks of 14 for McCann now. Simmons 13 is second on that list.
Anderson Simmons is having a really good year for the Angels out west.
Drew Verhagen, a nice job allowing just the one run. Got the big ground ball there for Mancini.
It's a nice visit by the veterans in the infield. Miguel Cabrera, also Kinsler in there talking to Verhagen after the walk to Chris Davis.
McCann is 0 for 1 with a ground out to the second baseman Scope. Now Miley with the 1-0 pitch, and again he's gone to a 2-0 count.
A ton today.
And as you said earlier, it's amazing really the Tigers haven't got more than the 2 they have.
Right. 7 2-0 counts. 7 predictable fastball counts.
Each side is stranded 4 in this game. McCann, Ducey, and Iglesias, bottom 3 in the Tigers starting lineup tonight. bend outside. 3-1. Tigers got to their starter Tillman in the first game of the series, knocked him out in the third. Pitch count eventually is going to get Miley here tonight. He's at 85 now, and that's rolled foul. Full count, 3-2. There's the breakdown on Miley. As you can see, not very good.
Yep, a lot of balls and very erratic in the strike zone. He's fallen behind a lot of Tigers hitters tonight so far.
Chopped to third base, deep behind the bag on a fair ball. Machado throws it out.
He's got hose, man.
One away. We bring in Johnny Kane.
Mario and Pemba, did you know that there have been more than 1,900 games played here at Camden Yards since the park opened in 1992? In that time, 138,000 plate appearances, but only 88 balls have ever traveled over the Eli Jacobs Plaza, out onto Utah Street, right in front of the warehouse. Utah Street is one of the awesome parts of Camden Yards, obviously, you know, one of the neat features of it. So 88 home run balls have traveled out that far, the distance. May 13th, 2014, that was Victor Martinez. He was the last Tiger to ever hit one out this far. Mickey Tettleton was the first to ever hit a home run out of this ballpark. That came back in 1992. So they have a plaque. If you go out there, there's a nice gentleman out there. He can show you all the different 88 home runs that have been hit. They have it commemorated on the actual street with the little plaque, and it gives the name and the distance. 406 feet for Mickey Tettleton, 416 for Victor Martinez. But it is awesome. So Utah Street, again, that street will be open even on non-game days, but here they've got food vendors and a lot of fans walking up and down there. It's a cool feature to here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards, no doubt.
No, I'm not an English major, but I think they spelled Mickey Tettleton wrong.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
Yeah, they did. You would have thought. I don't know how easy it is to pull those plaques out and put them in, you know?
Exactly. You would think they'd change it.
I mean, it's a nice touch.
It's a nice touch.
They've had some time to get. They've had some time to get it right. I mean, they did. That was 1992. I'll talk to the guy. I'll let him know.
See what you can do.
Get on that, Johnny.
All right, the Utah Street's awesome. So
They got some good barbecue out there, Boobs.
Yeah,
I
they
think.
do.
Huh?
Now, don't be sending Johnny to a food place. That's the last thing he needs.
I already ate today,
I'm
boys.
trying to get him to bring us some.
Oh, I got you.
I'll bring you guys something.
No,
you
we're
want
good,
to.
man.
All right.
All right, Johnny. A lot of Tiger fans hanging out with Johnny Kane out there.
Oh yeah,
That's
St.
Johnny
Clair
Kane.
Shores, right? St. Clair and Chesterfield.
Nice. East
Yeah, so
side.
they've been they're going actually on to Pittsburgh too, so I'm sure they'll be hanging with us out there as well.
There'll be a lot of fans, and there'll be a lot of Tiger fans in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, that is one of the ballparks that is always inundated with Tigers fans. I think Chris Davis hit 10 onto Utah Street in his career.
10 of them.
I believe so. I'd have to double check that number, but that's the last I saw. Ducey rolls it foul.
That would not shock me at all, as strong as Crush Davis is.
But it is a poke to get it out there, to be sure.
Yeah, you got to hit it better than 400 feet for sure, right in front of the warehouse. But they do have the cool patio out here where people are staying hydrated.
Neat spot, really a neat ballpark. For those Tigers fans looking for a visiting ballpark to check out. And there's a swing and a miss. Miley strikes out Ducey. 2 gone here in the fourth.
Miley has been erratic in the strike zone, to say the least, but yet all the Tigers have been able to do so far is the 2-run home run that he gave up in the first to Justin Upton. He's up to 94 pitches, and we are just in the fourth.
3 walks, none of them have scored. Iglesias had one back in the second.
The Orioles really don't have a long man tonight. They used him the other night. That was the kid Castro who came in after Tillman left the game, and he was brilliant. They don't have him. At least I hope they don't.
Yeah, from what we saw.
He was that good.
I've had enough of that guy.
And there he is. Man, was his stuff electric the other night.
He retired the last 12 straight that he faced.
Dude, he was 98 with a nice loose arm.
Oh, nice play there by the shortstop Beckham. Iglesias is out, and the Tigers go 1-2-3 as we check out Utah Street going to break. As we go to the bottom of the fourth here in Baltimore, and the Tigers Liney Fridays Party Pack is available for all Friday home games. Package includes a game ticket and a voucher for a 20-ounce beer, starting as low as $19 while supplies last. Go to Tigers.com for more information. Drew Verhagen back to the mound now as we go to the home half of the fourth. It'll be Beckham, Smith, and Castillo.
Verhagen did a very nice job against Beckham his first time up tonight. He disrupted the timing of that leg kick with a mixture of fastballs and a good breaking ball to finish him off with strike 3. That's what you have to do to guys that have these leg kicks. You have to disrupt their timing, because he's been on point for the last 4 days.
We were talking about this last night, but it seems like guys with the leg kicks, I mean, can they get in and out of funks because of all the moving parts they have? And
Absolutely.
timing?
Oh, for sure. Especially on breaking balls, because you're trying to time the fastballs most of the time.
Right at the first baseman, a bullet hit right at Cabrera.
He's dialed in, isn't he?
He is indeed, even when he's making outs.
I mean, you're not used to the ball coming that sharply at you off of a right-handed bat. You're used to left-handers hitting the ball that sharply at you, but not right-handed batters.
A scorching line drive pulled in by Cabrera. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. One gone for Smith. Smith had a walk in the second. They are shifting on the left-handed batter. Smith has power, nearly hit one out last night. His double late in the ball game set up a scoring chance for the Orioles. And a strike called right down the middle of the plate. Got him looking, and a strikeout for Verhagen. Second of the ball game for Drew.
Yeah, good two-seam fastball, bottom of the strike zone. We've already told you that the home plate umpire, Jeff Nelson, he has called that pitch a strike a lot already here tonight. You might as well keep working down there if you're Verhagen.
A lot of ground balls also induced by Verhagen tonight.
That two-seam fastball at about 92 to 94 has got a lot of light life when it gets into the hitting zone. I see you, Drew.
14 of 17 in the first pitch strike category.
That's what you have to do against this Baltimore team.
One around. 0-2. Got him, strike 3. Castillo caught looking, and Verhagen a very quick 1, 2, 3, 4, including a couple of strikeouts. lead here as we go to the top of the 5th, and a ball scorched at Cabrera.
Absolute laser off the bat of Beckham.
And that must have been moving a little bit because Miggy was chatting between innings.
Yeah, he said, I tried to get my face out of the way. I grabbed it and tried to turn my face to the side.
So the Tigers batting here in the 5th inning now, and they've got Kinsler up there.
And 2 strikeouts today for Ian Kinsler, who usually is very difficult to strike out. He's got him once on a fastball and once on a curveball today. That would be Miley. Now watch Miggy talking to Omar. Grab that ball, kind of turn to the side to make sure if he didn't catch it, it wouldn't hit his pretty face.
Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Kinsler. Coming in, Ian was the 7th toughest guy to strike out in the American League.
Yeah, he don't strike out very often.
Miley is already at 100. Little float foul. Castellanos and then Upton in the Tiger 5th.
Here's where Miley will try to go inside with 2 strikes. 4-seam fastball about 93. If it's a cutter, it'll be about 90 miles an hour.
Oh man, up top, and Kinsler strikes out for the 3rd time. 1 gone here in the 5th. We check in now with Mickey York. All right, Mick, thanks. It was a matter of time before Avila would make his presence felt there. His first home run as a Cub. Justin Wilson came on and pitched in that game as well for Chicago. They were involved in that package deal to the Cubs.
Chicago got themselves a couple of pretty good players. Alex, tremendous leadership skills. Justin Wilson with a really good fastball all year.
Jamer Candelario came back the other way. He is currently in the minor leagues for the Tigers, probably the closest to the major league level right now in development. Oh, 2. And we're also learning that Isaac Paredes, who also came in that deal, homered tonight, and he's at West Michigan. Don't know when the Tigers pieces that they've gotten in return from the deadline deals this year will get to the big leagues, but one thing we do know, the minor league system now is a whole lot stronger than it was a couple of weeks ago. The 0-2 right back to the mound, right at Miley, who flags it down. 2 gone.
Yeah, ball not hit that sharply off the bat of Castellanos. And Miley able to make the play. Nicholas hit that ball right off the end of the bat.
Here is Chevrolet's most dependable players. You got Upton and Cabrera on a list with Hank Greenberg. That's pretty good.
20 homers, 30 plus doubles, and 75 RBI through August 4th. Only 3 players have done it in the Tigers uniform. Only 3. That's special company.
Jay Up got the Tigers on the board in the 1st inning with yet another home run, a line drive homer.
The one thing about Justin Upton, really, since the All-Star break, he's been hitting home runs in every direction, not just the left field. He hit one here a couple of days ago to straightaway center field. It was 452 feet from home plate. He connected yesterday. That one was to left. Before the Tigers came on the road trip, he hit a grand slam to right field.
Upton on the road trip now has 4 homers and 9 RBIs.
And nothing cheap about any of them. Does he dare throw him a fastball for a strike here?
He did. Fouled it away.
Well located at 92 on the outside corner.
Finally gave up the home run in the first, but nothing since. 6 in a row retired by the Orioles lefty. Upton grounds it foul. He got a breaking ball that time, stayed alive.
You know, we were talking about James McCann the last couple of weeks and the fact that he has backed off the plate and now he's performing very well. But it was last August when Justin Upton backed off the plate too, kind of freed up his hands. And since that day he moved off the plate, he has been one of the best power hitters in all of baseball, if not the best. He's done that much damage.
Do you know who suggested that to him last year?
Well, he said that he suggested it along with the conversation that he had with David Ortiz, and of course he was talking to the Tigers hitting coaches as well. There was quite a few people that were in Justin's ear last year at the beginning of the season when he was struggling. But at the end of the day, I think he had a conversation with David Ortiz when Boston was in town, and the other people. He made that adjustment, and it's been a very good one for him.
Was on fire in the second half and very nearly led the Tigers to a playoff appearance last year.
I don't think he liked sitting on that bench when Brad gave him that timeout last year too. Gave him 3 days off.
He'll go down on strikes. Miley has a 1-2-3 fifth. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet, go for thrilling drives and deals at the Chevy Summer Drive. Chevrolet, find new roads. It's the National Aquarium in the Inner Harbor here in Baltimore on a spectacular night weather-wise.
My family went to that aquarium yesterday. They said they had a good time.
Thumbs up?
Thumbs up.
Good. I think we were there several years ago. Tigers ahead by a run, and Verhagen back to the mound facing Joey Ricker to lead things off. Drew had a 9-pitch fourth, got a 1-2-3 through 8 strikes out of the 9 pitches in that last inning. There's a line drive right at Kinsler.
Here is the 1-800 Sam call of the game. Verhagen came out tonight throwing lots of fastballs through the first couple of frames and had a lot of success doing so. A lot of weak contact off the bats of the Baltimore Orioles. He also threw that fastball to get ahead. He finished guys off with the fastball, but then after the Jones double in 1 inning, he went to the breaking ball and he started throwing some outstanding breaking balls to get some softer contact. But I guess what I'm saying to you, as a starting pitcher, when you're going up against a team like Boston, you have to continue to evolve. You have to continue to change. And James McCann has led him beautifully every step of the way. And Verhagen has been outstanding in his first start of the season.
Really impressed. Here are the numbers right now. Only 3 hits. Doubles by Jones and Scope in the third got them a run. Ball 1 to Jones, showing bunt. Did he go? We wanted to see if he offered. His double got him going in the third inning. Darren O'Day warming up in the Baltimore pen. Swing and a drive to deep left. Oh man, forget about this one. Wow. Adam Jones put a hurting on that baseball, and we're tied. Yikes. Number 20 for Jones.
Adam Jones is a very smart hitter, Mario. We were talking about the fact that the last time he was up in the third inning, he got a first pitch fastball from Verhagen. He hit a double in the left center field gap. He knew that Verhagen wasn't going to give him another fastball. He got a breaking ball there, and he hit it like he was sitting on it.
Number 20 for Jones to tie the game as Machado tries to push a bunt down the first base line. Double and a homer tonight for Jones.
He's been a really good player for about a decade in Baltimore.
Fly ball right field. Going to the corner at Ducey. Still coming to the corner. Up against the wall. He got it. We lost to Ducey in the corner. That's a long running play. And finally the first base umpire Ortiz made the signal. Nice play by Ducey.
Ducey's made a couple of nice plays on the road trip. Remember that home run he took away from Todd Frazier in Yankee Stadium. Montuk's made some nice plays in this series. Jay Up's done it with his bat. So the outfield trio of Ducey, Montuk, and Jay Up's had a really nice road trip.
Here is Scope, single, double RBI. Ripped foul right by third base coach Bobby Dickerson. 0-1 on Scope.
Tigers need to score a few more runs in this game because you know this Baltimore Orioles team, they're not going to stop attacking.
Right back up the middle. Diving stop. KINSLER from a knee. In time for the out. What a play by KINSLER. And the Tigers continue to flash some serious leather.
Ian Kinsler, if I'm not going to get any hits, then you guys aren't going to get any either. One step on a dive and a brilliant throw to Miguel Cabrera.
Run as we go to the 6th inning now here in Baltimore. And we're calling all Spartans. Fox Sports Detroit University Days are back Friday, August 11th. Get your tickets now. Tigers.com/MSU. Ticket package includes a limited edition hat. Don't miss Michigan State University Day with the Tigers. Get your tickets now. Well, Darren O'Day now is on in the Wallside Windows pitching chain.
And O'Day pitching in his 42nd game. You can see he gets a lot of strikeouts. 48 strikeouts in the 41 contests that he's been in. The opponent's batting average is just a shade over 204. Sinker slider. He's only got 2 pitches. He throws from underneath. He's a sidewinder.
Miley retired the final 7 in a row that he faced. Here is Cabrera as we go to the 6th. Mickey looks at ball 1. Been a couple of walks in this game for Cabrera as Chad Bell begins tuning up. The Orioles lately have been hitting some balls really hard. In fact, just about every ball in that 5th inning was hit hard.
Yes, indeed.
Miggy looks at a ball low. 2-0 the count. Verhagen in his first start for the Tigers this year. So far 2 runs in 5 innings of work. Cabrera waiting on a 2-0.
The one thing that Leon Bull Durham, the assistant hitting coach for the Tigers, continues to say about Miguel, they want him to try to catch the fastball a little further out front. A 2-0 count. You can see by that swing, Miggy allows that ball to get too deep on him. They would like to see him catch some of these a little bit further out in front, and so he can start to barrel up some of those 2-0 fastballs. Good slider.
Yeah. O'Day's been good for them over the years. In fact, from 2012 to 2015, he has gone at least 68 appearances out of their bullpen, so they've used him a lot.
And you can see from that angle that he throws that ball from, it's more like a frisbee. And when it gets into the hitting zone, it goes more east to west. Not much depth on his slider because of the arm slot and where he throws it from. Ooh.
But outside, crowd didn't like it. 3-2.
Good take by Miggy. Well, they say if you throw it 2-2, you can't be afraid to throw it 3-2. That would be the slider.
Foul away. Cabrera to be followed by Matuk and Martinez in the Tigers' 6th. Here are the numbers against O'Day for Mickey. He's gotten him once with a homer. Tigers got 2 in the 1st on a home run by Upton. They have not scored since.
Wasn't that home run that Miguel hit? And they're checking, but I'm almost positive it was that day when the Tigers came here. They had lost like 11 games in a row. And then the check swing, JD, they said he didn't swing. JD homered, and then Miguel homered right after that.
In May? That was O'Day, wasn't it? Yeah.
I believe it was.
It was May of that year.
I believe it was O'Day.
3-2. Just got a piece of that one to stay alive, so his battle continues with O'Day. 8-pitch at bat. Tigers kind of following the same pattern they had last night. They got the early home run in the 1st inning, didn't score again until the 8th.
Miley did a pretty nice job of kind of slowing the Tigers down. Even though he was erratic in the strike zone, he didn't give up a lot of damage beyond the 1st.
It didn't seem likely that that was going to happen, but it did. And that is is low, and Cabrera gets himself yet another walk, his third of the game.
That home run was against O'Day when the Tigers had lost 11 of 12 games, and it was a check swing that J.D. clearly swung at, but the umpire said he didn't. J.D. walked, and Miggy homered off O'Day.
And that started a turnaround for the Tigers.
It did.
They desperately needed. Here is Matuk. A couple of base hits for Mikey. Matuk, by the way, was the Tigers Player of the Month in July. Batted .346. Ball one.
Yeah, Mikey has that really relaxed stance, standing straight up and down, feet about shoulder width apart, ever so slightly wiggling the bat over the top of the head. Very quiet approach for Mikey Matuk. Almost like a softball setup.
We always talk about guys that have different approaches or different stances, but in the end, Rod, as you always like to say, it's not how you start, but where you get that bat in the zone, when you get in the zone, and how you finish.
No question. That's the main thing.
Whatever works for you.
It's been working for Mikey too.
One ball and one strike on Matuk. That'll miss high, and O'Day not throwing many strikes now. 2-1.
O'Day, however, looking for a ground ball. He throws a ground ball about 47% of the time. League average 45, so he's a little bit above league average. But you would imagine with the arm slot that he throws from, and that two-seamer and that slider, he would get a lot of ground balls.
Missed again. 3-1. For O'Day, 7 of them have missed the strike zone.
Well, he's following that same pattern that Wade Miley had, their starter. And he was very wild tonight too, although it didn't cost him.
He painted the outside corner there. Full count, 3-2.
Boy, you wonder if Brad will start Miggy here. 3-2, nobody out. We just told you O'Day throws lots of ground balls. If he does start him, that means he has a lot of confidence in Matuk putting the ball in play. Him and his bench coach are talking about it right now, whatever the decision was.
Runner holds, and a swing and a miss.
Good thing he did hold up.
One gone. O'Day with a strikeout. Fans, Sunday, August 13th, Tigers take on the Twins at 1:10 p.m. Sunday, Kids Day. All kids 14 and under get a free Victor Martinez poster. If you'd like tickets, go to Tigers.com or call 866-66-Tigers. It'll bring Victor Martinez to the plate now with one on, one out in the 6th.
Yeah, Victor's reached a couple of milestones this year. And 2,000th career major league hit, and also his 400th career double just a few days ago in New York.
O'Day is looking again for the ground ball as Victor has hit 2 of them on the ground tonight, including a double play. He'll roll that one foul. Remember this, Rod?
I
back
do.
In 2014,
Utah Street. Victor leaned on one.
hit it out of the ballpark. And there's the plaque to commemorate it. Unlike Mickey Tettleton, his name is spelled correctly.
I knew you would notice that, being the college graduate that you are.
It just astounds me that they would not go back and fix that for Mickey Tettleton. A little bit outside there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tigers have 2 runs on 4 hits. Likewise, the Orioles. Here's the 1-1. 2-1 on Martinez. Talking about how the Tigers got Tillman early in game 1 in this series. Buck Showalter saying that Tillman now is in the bullpen for the Orioles and probably would be available for tomorrow's game, but not be pitching out of the pen here tonight.
Yeah, we kind of expected that that might be the last start for Tillman, especially with the way that young kid pitched the other day.
Yeah, Castro came in, did a great job. And I remember you saying as soon as Tillman was walking off the mound, this might be his last start this year.
Yeah, it might be.
Or at least for a while.
Yeah.
2-2 on V-Mart. Buck Showalter, 8th season with the Orioles now. He's won the Manager of the Year award 3 separate times.
Managed in Arizona, managed in New York, and also managed the Texas Rangers before landing in Baltimore.
And only Earl Weaver has won more games as a skipper of the O's than Buck. The 2-2 swing and a miss. He struck him out. 7 strikeouts for Baltimore pitching tonight. 2 gone. We'll bring up McCann. Two groundouts for James. Again, looking to extend that 14-game hitting streak. Nice work tonight by Verhagen in his first start for the Tigers. Swing and a miss, trying to hold up. Longest hitting streak in the American League this year belongs to Whit Merrifield and Jose Altuve. They each had 19 gamers. Oh, and 1 on McCann. Missed inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. McCann, as you mentioned, has caught every game on this road trip, Rod. I guess assuming that Hicks would catch tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm with you. He'll probably give McCann the day off tomorrow.
It's a warm afternoon here. Day baseball here in Baltimore tomorrow. Up and in. 2-1. And on Dave's thrown 23 pitches. He started the inning with a walk to Cabrera, who is still standing there with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. 2-2 now on McCann.
On the Miggy 3 base on balls. It means he's seeing the baseball very well tonight. Obviously, Miggy hasn't had a great year offensively, but when you walk 3 times in a game, you can start to expect really good things to happen because he's really tracking the ball a lot better.
Bouncing ball to short. Beckham. And McCann is out to end the inning. Tigers get a walk, but strand 1.
Back here in Maryland, I'll tell you one of the neat things we've been able to experience while we've been here with the Tigers. Had an opportunity to travel about 20 miles southeast of Baltimore to Annapolis, which is the state's capital, also the home of the United States Naval Academy. And fortunate for us, it was part of the Plebe Summer. It's a 6-week program for all incoming freshmen, midshipmen that are out there. We saw the Plebe Parade, more than 1,000 young cadets out there going through it, going through the mental training, going through the physical training. Our photographer, Kevin Guralewski, and I were fortunate enough to get out there and see everything they have to offer there at the United States Naval Academy. So I do encourage you, if you get an opportunity to come to Baltimore, make a trip down there. Annapolis is absolutely beautiful, and some of our best young men and women out there continuing to learn so that they can serve.
Cool trip, Johnny. You know, we expect you to sink anchors away next time. We'll wait for that. Wallside Windows pitching change. Chad Bell now is coming on for the Tigers.
And Chad Bell pitching in his 15th game since coming up from the minor leagues. 26 strikeouts for Chad. He's walked 13. He's given up 6 home runs. The batting average against him, .266. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. Really likes the fastball slider mix.
Brad's had a couple of guys he's tried to get into games. Bell would be one of them as he throws strike 1 to Chris Davis.
And nice opportunity to do that against the left-hander Davis. Brad's going to have to piece this one together.
July the 26th was the last outing for the left-hander. That's in there, a strike called.
And 2 pitches, 1 breaking ball, 1 fastball. The result the same. Strikes on the outer third of home plate.
Trey Mancini to follow, then Tim Beckham. The 0-2. Drew Verhagen before departing was 81% on first pitch strikes.
Pretty good.
17 of 21.
Really good.
Ooh, that was close. A little high.
And Drew did not disappoint anybody with his outing here today. First major league start of the season.
Brad Brock warming up. Way outside, bouncing in. Off speed pitch, now 3-2. And there's Joe Jimenez warming up now in the Tigers bullpen.
We haven't seen Joe yet, haven't since
Have
he's
not.
come up from the minors.
He was warming up a couple times, but has never gotten into a game since his recent call up. 3-2. Swing and a miss. He dusted him up top. Old habits for Davis. He chased again, 1 gone.
He chases the fastballs up, and he also chases the breaking balls up.
Here is Mancini. Couple of ground balls for Mancini. Fouled away, 0-1. Ball high. I think Brad probably got as much out of Verhagen tonight that he probably could. And I think saw right in the 5th inning some really hard hit balls.
Agreed.
It was time to go to the bullpen.
Different look for the Orioles.
Little chopper left side of the infield. Castellanos got him by a step. 2 gone.
Did a nice piece in the pregame show today talking about the swing of Tim Beckham. We were talking about his leg kick. It's all about the leg kick for him. Take a look at how he uncoils with the leg kick. He takes it back and he closes up very nice. And then when he gets that foot down, this guy's been doing a lot of damage, and he's done a lot of damage since putting on the Baltimore uniform. And really, he's had a nice season against the Tigers. It started in Tampa, and he's continued that here with a couple of home runs the opposite way, a triple. He's had a nice series, and he almost knocked Miggy over his last time up.
And he'll look at ball 1.
He was the #1 drafted player in 2008, the first player drafted in the country. And when he was coming out of high school in Georgia. He was drawing comparisons to Hanley Ramirez. This is when Hanley was still playing shortstop.
He didn't like
guys,
that
I talked to Tim Beckham a little bit earlier. Sorry there, Mario. I talked to Tim earlier, and he said, you know, the biggest thing for me right now is that I just need to have some consistent quality at bats. Everything else will take care of itself. I'm trying to bring an energy to this club. He said, I'm probably one of the most competitive guys you'll ever meet. Really likes the positive vibe here. And his locker right next to Jonathan Scope and 2 down from Manny Machado. So he's got a couple of guys to lean on. You know, 11 hits through his first 4 games as an Oriole. That was as many as he had over his last 18 games with Tampa Bay. So Tim Beckham making a pretty good first impression in front of these O's fans.
Yeah, Johnny's brought a lot of energy, to be sure. And I wonder, Rod, how much a new scenery has helped him out as well, because he had been in the Rays organization his entire career, and now he's kind of changing colors. Kind of a new outlook.
He's got nice mentors as well. Johnny Kane gave a couple of different names, but also Adam Jones has been mentoring him. You know, we were talking about Justin Upton earlier. Justin Upton was a first-round draft choice in 2005, first player drafted in the country, just like Beckham. But Jay Up only had 892 at-bats in the minors before he got to the big leagues. Beckham had over 2,500 at-bats in the minor leagues. So different paths for different guys, but the gist of the story, you never know how long it's going to take a high school player to get to the big leagues.
Up the middle. Iglesias can't get this one. Beckham has another hit. He's out with a 2-out single.
Here's that leg kick one more time, and what you want to try to do is you want to try to disrupt the leg kick. He was out in front, so he was fooled just a little bit, but he hit that ball hard on the ground. You see how much he let that ball travel just out of the glove of Iglesias. You know, something else that he gives them, Mario, next year when Manny Machado leaves as a free agent, and I think he's going to leave because Baltimore is not really going to pay Manny all the money that he commands. I mean, he's one of your better players in the game. Beckham gives them insurance. He gives them insurance along with J.J. Hardy, along with Scope in the infield, if Manny leaves.
And Beckham is a guy that has played second, short, and third, so you could put him really anywhere in the infield.
And they've got quite a bit of money tied up in Adam Jones. They got quite a bit of money tied up in Davis. And Manny will be looking at one of those kind of contracts like Bryce Harper. There's J.J. But Showalter's already told J.J. Hardy when he's healthy, he gets his shortstop position back. So then he'll have to decide what he does with guys like Beckham.
Hardy fractured wrist landed him on the disabled list. Here's the 0-1. Smith the batter with 2 outs.
And when you think about one other thing, Beckham wasn't even really supposed to play this year in Tampa until the injury to their starting shortstop Matt Duffy, which opened the door for Beckham, and now he's really enjoying that. He's taken advantage of it.
Otherwise, he pretty much probably would have been buried in Tampa. One ball, one strike. You mentioned Machado possibly and probably leaving next year. It's funny because these ball clubs now, they've got these big charts. They've got these big things on the wall that show every position of every player they have in the organization, when their contracts are going to expire. They have to look years in advance to make sure their organization is still running smoothly.
And protected. They had a chance to jump at Beckham, not really knowing what he would do in the future, but it does protect them. It's hard to replace Manny. There's no doubt about that.
But one thing Beckham did early on in his career in the minor leagues was steal some bases. He was over 20 a couple of years, but really has not done a whole lot of that recently.
Yeah, he's stolen 5 this season, so it makes it very unlikely that he would attempt to steal with a left-hander on the mound, but nonetheless, Bell is paying a lot of attention to him.
And continues to do so.
I think there was a couple of steals of third base earlier in the season, earlier in this series. Gentry stole third base a couple of different times, and I think Brad might have sent a message to his pitching staff to make sure that no matter what the score is, you keep these guys close on the base paths.
Brad said he talked to Matt Boyd in the 7-1 ball game a couple of nights ago where the Orioles stole some bases even though it was a lopsided score. High fly ball, left center field playable. Upton is under it, and that'll retire the side. No runs, a hit, 1 man left. The Unlimited baseball break. It is brought to you by T-Mobile. Here's what's going on around the big leagues. It looks like Felix Hernandez's ride has been placed on the DL.
You know, not good for Felix, man. The last couple of years, he's landed on the DL quite often.
Bartolo Colon, a complete game last night at the age of 44. How about that?
How about that? Jamie Moyer did it at 47 in 2010.
And Jaime Garcia, the first pitcher in Major League history to start a game for 3 different teams in the span of 15 days.
I'm sure Pistons fans know back in 2004 that Rasheed Wallace started the season with the Portland Trail Blazers. Then he played 1 game with the Atlanta Hawks before coming to the Pistons, and they won the championship in 04. So Sheed did the same thing that year.
Wall side windows change. Brad Brock has come on now for the Orioles to begin things here in the 7th.
Rasheed was a piece of work, wasn't he?
Oh, he was, but he could play.
He was entertaining, though, man. Loved him, man. He played with some edge.
That he did.
He played with a lot of edge.
Ducey leads it off here in the 7th. And that'll straighten him up. It's a strike on the inside part of the plate. Ducey not so sure.
And another good arm out of the Oriole bullpen. Brock's got a fastball that gets up to about 96 miles an hour.
Threw it by him. Brad Brock stands 6'6", 215 out of Freehold, New Jersey.
Got 3 pitches. Fastball, slider, changeup. Loves his changeup. He throws it 22% of the time, so he throws his changeup more than he throws his slider. So he's pretty much fastball changeup mix.
Stayed right up there. In fact, he's been almost exclusively up top to a Ducey, but he laid off.
A lot of red dots too.
95 and above with the red dots.
We hadn't seen many tonight. It's late in the game. Most of the guys coming in will give us some red dots from here on out.
Seems to be that way with every single ball club. Bouncing ball slowly towards short. Beckham. And Ducey almost beat it out. He will surprise some people down the line. I don't think he can run, but he almost got there.
I just love the way that he respects 90 feet. And that's what Joe Madden told his Chicago Cubs a couple of years ago. The only rule Madden had was respect 90 feet, which means when you hit the ball hard, run hard. That was it. Respect 90 feet.
And the rest seemingly will take care of itself.
I believe he has a charity that's named Respect 90 Feet. Joe Madden.
Here's Iglesias now with one out.
Tigers bats have been somewhat shut down here tonight, partner, after the first inning.
Well, we were saying the same last night until we got to the 8th when Upton hit his slam. Let's see if they can get going here against Brock. Iggy looks at a strike. Zach Britton spent some time on the DL. Brock was closing games, and he was 16 out of 20 in those opportunities.
Pretty good. Probably one of the reasons why they were entertaining the thought of trading Zach Britton at the trade deadline. Brock was doing a pretty nice job in his absence.
And the Tigers have done a nice job of avoiding Britton in the series so far.
Yeah, I thought we were going to see him last night until the heroic grand slam by Justin Upton. Tigers box score kind of quiet tonight.
Only 4 Tigers hits.
Miggy's been on 3 times, but he's walked all 3 of those times. That's 3 points for me and pick the stick. Nickel and dime them to death tonight.
There is nothing wrong with that, man. 3 points is 3 points.
I had you as a table setter tonight, and me doing some big things with Miggy. It's been the other way around. I've been table setting.
1-2 on Mr. Iglesias. Walking the line out.
At least I'm on the board, though.
You are indeed. Slap foul again. MANNY started for them and threw 30 pitches in the first, gave up a 2-run homer, and it looked like it was going to be a good night for the Tigers offense, but then MANNY settled in.
Yeah, he was effectively wild, to say the least. Over 100 pitches for MANNY in the 5 frames.
Ooh, he dusted him up top, and Iggy settled himself. 96 up at the letters. 2 gone. MLB.com and BAT is your #1 mobile app for live Tigers baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Tigers home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, and a whole lot more. Download MLB.com and BAT. Get it today. That is a total of 8 strikeouts now for Baltimore pitching. Here is KINSLER, who has fanned 3 times. Strike 1. Ian came in on base in 22 consecutive games, so he's got to keep that streak going. Tigers need a base runner here.
Did that abrupt changeup. 89 miles an hour. Circle change.
Since the start of 2014, he leads all major league relievers in wins with 24. I'm not sure what kind of stat that is, the win stat for a reliever. I mean, you can get a lot of wins by giving it up, and then all of a sudden your team comes back and gets you the runs.
Yeah, I kind of like the inherited runner stat for a lot of the relievers that pitch out of that come out of the bullpen. How many of the inherited runs they get do they allow to score?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that clearly is one of the more impressive or important stats when analyzing relievers. Three and 2 on Ian KINSLER. High fly ball, shallow center field for Jones. And the Tigers go 1, 2, 3 in the 7th. Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Well, it's a good one here tonight at Camden Yards. 2-2 is our score in this one.
And just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, and it is brought to you by Miller Lite. The Tigers have played some outstanding defense in this entire series. It started with Castellanos making a really nice play. Matuk has been all over the place, along with Iglesias, the sick fielding shortstop for the Detroit Tigers. Well, you get the idea. Every time the ball has been in play, because the Tigers starters and relievers have been so efficient, play after play after play have been made. And in tonight's game, Miguel Cabrera makes a nice play, and Ian Kinsler, not to be outdone by any of his teammates, he dove for one and made a really nice grab as well. So real nice defensive games here tonight for the boys.
Well, the Tigers had Drew Verhagen start this one, Rod. Obviously, with Michael Fulmer on the disabled list, they need somebody to fill in. I think Verhagen probably was at the top of most people's lists, and he didn't disappoint tonight. He turned in pretty good effort.
He did well. I mean, he touched 95 with his fastball consistently. He threw some really good breaking balls. Didn't use too many sliders today, but he had an outstanding curveball and really kept him off balance.
I really didn't think Wade Miley would pitch as well as he ended up pitching.
Well, Miley looked like he was not going to be around in this game very long after the 2-run home run by Jay up in the very first, and the numbers that we gave our fans at the beginning of the contest on Miley. He had not been very good, but he did well tonight.
So the Tigers right now locked up in a 2-2 duel here, and it looks like the Tigers go to the pen on a Wallside Windows change. Here's Joe Jimenez.
Joe Jimenez was pitching some really nice baseball down in Toledo. His last 16 contests, 17 innings, did not allow a run, 9 hits only and 20 strikeouts. So the young rookie phenom and pitching in the big leagues for the second time this year.
Castillo leads it off, and he looks at ball one at 97 miles an hour from Jimenez. 16 consecutive scoreless outings for Jimenez prior to the call-up.
This is definitely a high leverage situation for Joe Jimenez. 2-2 ball game in the 7th.
2 balls and no strikes. Still trying to figure out how that first one was not a strike. There it is, right in the middle.
That's a ball.
That was the ball.
That's terrible.
2-0.
Maybe it wasn't low enough.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Driven toward right center field. That ball is hit well, and that ball is gone. Into the first row in right center. Wellington Castillo with a home run. to give the Orioles the lead. (3-2) Baltimore.
And Castillo got himself a fastball that was right down the middle at 96 miles an hour. You saw Joe Jimenez point up. Watch Joe. He points up like it's a pop-up. And that pop-up carried over the right center field wall.
Welcome to Camden Yards. 3-2 ball game now. A strike called on number 9 hitter Joey Rickard.
Take a look at Jimenez here. Contact, he points up like it's a pop-up. And then he looks up and says, whoa, it's not a pop-up.
Channeling his inner Phil Koch with that point. Skyward 0-2. Pop-up line out for Rickard. Orioles have their first lead of the night. Ball high. What in the world?
Are they showering him with sunflower seeds?
Yep. That's the heroes welcome in their dugout. The 1-2.
I will say this much. A lot of the young kids in the big leagues these days, they're having a lot of fun. And I've really been entertained by the bullpen dances from several teams, the Cubs and Milwaukee. And it's just a lot of fun watching these young kids kind of show their personalities on the baseball field. I'd see Tigers bullpen get a dance off.
Ooh, that one just missed. You know, Bryce Harper recently said we've got to make baseball fun again, and he has criticized the fact that the young players that have come into this game really can't show their emotions because it really wasn't done in the past. And he said, you know what, it's a new era, man. We've got a lot of good young players. Yeah,
every time one of the younger players do something, they get plucked.
Fouled back out of play. Manny Machado was quoted as saying earlier during the All-Star break that he thought the game was somewhat boring to watch, and he didn't play in the All-Star game this year, but he went down and he said, you know, I watched a couple of innings and I can see how fans are bored. And it caught the attention of a lot of folks, but a lot of the good young stars have been saying we need to spice it up.
You see the young Boston outfield, they dance after the game is over in center field. Benintendi and Betts and Bradley.
Popped up. See if it stays in play. McCann and Cabrera, and Miggy makes the play. One gone.
Check this out on Thursday with the Arizona Diamondbacks and Chicago Cubs with their dance-off. They're bobsledding here. It's hilarious. And he's fishing. Now they're bowling. The Cubs love that one. They're having a lot of fun, man. They are. They really are.
That was during a rain delay in that game, and the bullpens could see each other, and they kind of had a dance-off there. Nicely done. Here is Jones now with one out. 3-2. The Orioles have taken the lead. Crowd has come alive a little bit now.
Be careful on the first pitch.
Ground ball to third. Foul ball.
Jones is not your typical leadoff guy. He is not up there to see any pitches whatsoever. And he's had a nice day today. 2 for 3 with a homer. His 20th of the season. Scope has also had a nice day.
Double and a homer for Jones. The home run, as Rod mentioned, number 20, RBI 53. Way outside. It'll go to the backstop. He threw it right by McCann. 1 ball and 1 strike.
When you kind of start to look at this bullpen, Mario, the future, I mean, you've got Big Joe Jimenez. He gets up to 98, 99. You've got Rondon. He touched triple digits last night. You have Shane Green, who has ice water in his veins since he has become the closer. It's looking pretty good.
I agree. In the air to right center field, Matuk coming over. And Mikey runs it down. 2 gone.
Joe was right this time when he pointed up after the contact off the bat of Jones. Now that's a pop-up.
Every time I see that, I just think of Phil Coke, and it just kind of makes me chuckle.
I do remember that.
Coke would do it on literally everything off the bat.
Tigers playing no doubles depth right now, too, in their outfield. Everybody is playing really deep. They don't want anything hit over their heads.
Machado drills one to right field, and Adduci looks up against the wall. Machado going to be held to a single as Adduci played the hop.
Yeah, nothing Adduci could do about that one. And by them playing so deep and him not having to run very far for that ball, he was able to get back to the wall and take it one bounce off the wall and get the ball in to keep Machado to a single. Ball played very nicely by Deuce.
.104 off the bat of Manny Machado.
I guess what Joe should understand is that these guys can hit a fastball.
For sure.
Castillo hit a fastball at 96 out of the ballpark, and that was a mid-90s fastball, barreled up pretty nicely and by Manny Machado.
Here is Jonathan Schoop. Single double for Schoop in this game.
Schoop, when he swings at one of the first two pitches and puts it in play, he does major damage. Batting average over 400.
Seven hits now for the Orioles. Strike called. Getting back to your point about the future of the Tigers bullpen, I mean, you've got three arms there, the ones you mentioned, Jimenez, Rondon, Shane Green, all closer type arms. Justin Wilson left, which obviously left the Tigers bullpen not quite as good as it was, but with Jimenez coming up, a lot of promise. And I think that the next 2 months, Rod, is going to give him an opportunity to find his way here in the major leagues and gain some extremely valuable experience.
Agreed. Edward Mujica, and Johnny Kane had this story a couple of nights ago. Mujica, a 10-year veteran down in the minor leagues all year for the Tigers, really took Jimenez under his wing and taught him how to go about his business on a daily basis.
Big rip there by Schoop.
There's Edward Mujica, who closed games for the Cardinals once upon a time, but he was down in AAA with Rondon and also Jimenez basically the entire year. It's nice to have that kind of leadership down in the minor leagues for guys like Rondon and Jimenez.
Looks like he's leading right now with Rondon.
Yep.
Two and two on Schoop. Ball high, 3-2. That ball came up and in.
If you're Jimenez here, you pretty much have to throw a slider, in my opinion. This guy right here just hunts fastballs, and he's looking for a fastball. If you have any confidence whatsoever in your slider and you're not afraid to walk Schoop, throw that pitch, but you have to throw it with some conviction.
Runner goes, and it is ball 4, so that'll put 2 aboard now.
Do the changeup instead of the slider.
They'll bring out Brad Ausmus now. And he's going to go to the bullpen. Schoop gets the walk. It's a wall side windows pitching change. We'll be back.
The Tigers got on the board first in the very first inning. It was a 2-run shot off of J-Up's bat, the 4th time he's homered this year in the first frame. And the Baltimore Orioles have a very good offensive team led by Jonathan Scope. Tigers have kept him quiet most of the series, but he's gotten loose here tonight. Adam Jones also connected on a hanging breaking ball for his 20th home run of the season. And Wellington Castillo, he broke the tie with a solo shot in this particular inning against Joe Jimenez on a 96-mile-per-hour fastball. Most of the scoring in the entire series has been done on the home run ball.
It has, which is not surprising here in this ballpark. A couple of talented players there, Iglesias and Machado.
Yes, they are. A couple of wizards with the glove.
The Orioles now have 2 on here with 2 outs, and Wilson trying to shut this down right now and allowing just 1 run.
Wilson has inherited 21 base runners this year, and 10 of those have come around to score. He inherits a couple here in this inning. Willie's been throwing the ball much better, and I think Brad in this particular situation probably wanted the veteran Alex Wilson instead of the youngster Joe Jimenez, with the scores being somewhat close right now.
Not much history between these two. 1 for 4 for Davis against Wilson. A couple of strikeouts. Ball high, and now the count's gone 2-0.
It really doesn't matter which pitcher comes in to go after Davis. Fastballs upstairs. Fastball, cutter, slider thrown by Alex Wilson. Mostly fastballs and cutters.
Got it off the label into shallow right field. Adducey coming in, and that'll retire the side. Nice job by Alex Wilson. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. Two as we go to the 8th inning now here at Camden Yards. Here's the upcoming pitching matchup presented by Wallside Windows. Ubaldo Jimenez and Anibal Sanchez for the Tigers.
Ubaldo Jimenez comes in with a 6.56 ERA. Anibal checks in with a 5.83. Anibal threw the ball well in his last outing in New York. He's 3-1 since coming back from the minors as a starter.
It'll be the series finale here before the Tigers go to Pittsburgh. Brad Brock is still out there. His 2nd inning of work got the Tigers 1-2-3 in the 7th. He's got the meat of the lineup here. Castellanos, Upton, Cabrera, 2, 3, and 4. And Nick looks at strike 1. Single and 3 at bats for Castellanos. All 3 of those at bats against the starter Wade Miley. Ball one on Nick. Here is Mujica warming up now. In there, a strike call, and Castellanos thought it was wide. It appeared to be wide. Meanwhile, Zach Britton, the left-hander, heating up in the bullpen if needed. Swing and a miss. Castellanos' flat-footed swing goes down on strikes.
Can't get enough of this J-Up grand slam last night. We dressed it up for you a little bit. Fox Vision. And you can see J-Up caught that slider from Gibbons just right. It landed nearly halfway up the seats in left field. And the exit velocity on it was incredible. Take a look at the concentration here. Head straight down on the baseball. He barrels it up, and you can see the trajectory of the baseball as soon as it makes contact with his bat. And that bench erupted last night, especially Verlander.
JV was real excited after that ball game he pitched last night. It would have been a shame to waste that one.
As hot as J-Up is, you know that Brock's going to be awfully careful with him. 21 homers and 77 driven in. His OPS is over 900.
The 1-0. Low ball 2. Cabrera waiting on deck.
And very important for J-Up just to take his walk if that's exactly what Brock is going to do. Don't leave the strike zone, forcing the issue. Ooh, nice little slide piece there. Real good breaking ball on a 2-0 count. Justin Upton looking for a fastball, and he should be looking for something to turn on.
So 3-1 now on Upton.
So the only question now, if you're Justin Upton, go ahead and sit on one breaking ball and to see if he throws it for a strike, and if he doesn't give you a breaking ball, just simply take the pitch. No harm, no foul.
Swing and a miss.
He got that breaking ball too.
Right over the middle of the plate.
He got it in that 3-1 count. This is a big swing by Justin. Just misses it. It's been awfully aggressive.
Last time Brock went more than one inning in an outing was back on June 25th. 3-2. Swing and a miss. He struck it out.
That's a nice job by Brock. He fell behind Justin 2-0. Came back with a good breaking ball. And then in the 2-3-1 count, he threw another breaking ball and then a fastball in the 3-2 count up top. Good pitching.
Now Cabrera. 3 walks tonight for Miguel.
Yeah, Miggy is seeing the ball very well here tonight. First time since July 3rd of 2016, Miggy has walked 3 times in a game.
Well, you're giving him that pitch just off the plate.
And it's a pitch you really can't hit. So why even swing at it?
Baltimore pitching tonight with 10 strikeouts, and Brock has Cabrera down 0-2. Wouldn't chase.
Tigers have struck out twice in the 5th, twice in the 6th, twice in the 7th, and twice here in the 8th.
That'll level the count. Yeah, total 10 now for the Orioles staff tonight. MANNY, before he left, had 5, and then O'Day struck out a couple, and Brock
has 4. It's been another entertaining baseball game.
The 2-2 fouled away.
All fastballs to Miggy. 3 of them 95 and above, thrown by Brock. "17 of the 33 pitches that Brock has thrown since coming into the game have registered 95 and above."
Fouled away as Cabrera hangs tough. That red dot's getting a workout in this series.
It really is.
Orioles took the lead on the home run by Castillo off Jimenez in the 7th. Now Cabrera again sizing up a 2-2 pitch. He'll step out. This is where the Orioles bullpen let them down last night. The grand slam was hit in the 8th inning by Upton. Just off the plate inside, and the count goes 3-2. Boo, says the crowd. Mickey knew that ball was way in. Full count. Drill to center field, a base hit. Miggy rounding the bag is going to try for 2. Ball bobbled out there, and Cabrera will get the second. The Tigers have the tying run at second base.
I made the comment after the third base on balls of the evening for Miguel Cabrera that he was starting to see the baseball a whole lot better. Pretty good at bat here for Brock. A fastball he finally got. It was in the mid-90s, and Miguel was thinking 2 out of the batter's box. The ball was mishandled momentarily in left field, and it allowed Miguel to scoot into scoring position. But that's a nice hard hit ball by Miggy, and an E on the left fielder.
Here comes Buck Showalter now.
He's going to get Britton.
He's going to bring his closer in.
He ain't waiting around tonight.
And I don't blame him. They had Britton warming up just in case they needed him, and they need him. It'll be a pitching change here in Baltimore. That's going to be it for Brad Brock. Here comes Zach Britton. We'll be back. Still have the tying run at second base here in the 8th inning, and Zach Britton coming out of the bullpen is We look at the most consecutive converted saves. Britton now with 57 in a row.
And Britton very easily could have won a Cy Young last year. That's how good he has been the last number of years, but usually does not go to relievers. But he was awfully good. He's got really one pitch, and it's a turbo sinker, and it's 97, 98, and it is most nights unhittable.
Mikey Matuk will stand in to face him. Here are the numbers on Britton.
He has spent some time on the disabled list this year, and pitching in only his 21st game. You see that bottom note there, sinker slider, 93% turbo sinkers, 7% slider. He was a tremendous weapon for the Baltimore Orioles last year.
A left forearm strain put him on the DL this season. Mikey looks at a ball inside, 1-0. The Orioles had a deal made for Britton at the trading deadline, but it fell through at the last second, so he is still here in Baltimore.
And Buck Showalter took a lot of criticism last postseason when Britton did not appear in a game where they thought that he probably should have come in, and it was the end of the season for the Baltimore Orioles, and Britton didn't pitch.
That was in their wild card loss. And anytime you leave a weapon like that in the bullpen, you're certainly going to be open to criticism.
And Buck's an outstanding manager, handles the bullpen very well, but he took a lot of heat for that move, not only here in Baltimore, but nationally.
2-0 to Matuk. Mikey fouls it off, 2-1.
97. You can see where the location is of the 3 sinkers that he has thrown, and all of them have registered 95 and above. Only a handful of closers in the majors. Tigers had one earlier this year in Justin Wilson. They just saw one in Aroldis Chapman in New York. Britton as well, left-handed closer.
Now Britton will step off. This is only the second time this year he's gone more than 1 inning. Strike called. 2-2 on Matuk.
Mikey's sitting there in a 2-1 count, and he gets a 98-mile-per-hour two-seamer, and it's just tough to pull the trigger on Zach Britton. Ball gets on you in a hurry. Chapman has a 4-seam fastball about 100 miles an hour. Britton's got a heater that's 98 with movement.
Right back to the mound. Britton throws him out, and the threat is over. No runs. Tigers leave a man at second. Bottom of the 8th tonight here at Camden Yards. Adam Jones 2 out of 4 with a home run, a double, and 2 runs scored. And Miguel Cabrera on base 4 times in this game with 3 walks and a single. But another tight one here at Camden Yards.
Yeah, Tigers have 3 big outs left. Mujica needs to do his job. He's the new Tigers pitcher that has just entered the game. Needs to keep the score right where it's at.
Tiger fans hoping for another comeback here tonight. They're down to their final 3 outs, but it's the job now of Mujica to keep it a 1-run game.
And he pitched a couple of days ago against the Orioles, 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned.
He's got Mancini to lead things off here.
And not too long ago, Mujica was closing games for the St. Louis Cardinals, and he was a good closer.
Mancini, Beckham, and Seth Smith. 37 saves in that all-star year of 2013 with the Cardinals. All the years he's been in the big leagues, his only all-star season. 0-2. Mancini in this game is 0 for 3. All 3 times he has put the ball on the ground. Wouldn't chase that one bouncing in. Same 2 teams wrap it up tomorrow. Day baseball here in Baltimore. Then it's on to Pittsburgh. I don't know about you, but Camden Yards and PNC Park, 2 of my favorite ballparks in the game.
Yes, we are going to 2 of my favorites as well. Actually, 3 really nice ballparks on this tour. New York, not bad. Nice environment there.
No doubt. Very nice place to work.
Yep. Come here. Beautiful, scenic, comfortable.
Swing and a miss. 1 away here in the 8th. Mancini out on strikes.
And that ballpark in Pittsburgh is just underrated. Anybody that's gone there, they absolutely love it. Good fastball there thrown right by Mancini.
Here is Beckham now, who homered against Mujica a couple of nights ago.
He's played 5 games with his new club, the Baltimore Orioles, and he has 12 hits already.
It's a pretty good first impression.
Isn't it though?
Beckham a single and 3 at-bats in this game. High towering drive to left field. Are you kidding me? He's homered again. Tim Beckham is put on a show in an Orioles uniform.
Timmy boy, you know you need to stop. What do you think the Tampa Bay Rays are thinking about right now?
I don't know. Bad trade.
Former #1 draft choice, first player drafted in the 2008 season. It's taken him a decade to get this good in the big leagues, but boy, the wait was worth it for the Baltimore Orioles. Like a changeup. He was sitting on it.
That is the 2nd home run he's hit against Mujica in this series. And that thing was a no-doubter.
The other home run that he hit against Mujica, that ball went to right field. They want a curtain call.
Ball 1 to Smith. There it is.
They love him here in Baltimore land. Birdland. Numbers against for the Orioles just sick. That's the 4th home run he's hit this year against the Tigers too.
That ball belted to right field. Adducey will turn on it. It's off the wall. He's going to try it for 2. Here's the throw. He's going to be out.
Now that's just bad base running by Seth Smith. The ball is right in front of him.
And he hit it like a laser, and Ducey again played the wall nicely.
I mean, I get hustling, and I get thinking two out the batter's box, but it's right in front of him. One bounce by Ducey. A Ducey good arm. He's out by 5 feet.
It was Castellanos that applied the tag. Two gone. Here's Castillo. The second time that Ducey has played the ball nicely off that tall wall and right. Orioles lead 4-2 with 2 outs in the 8th. That ball hammered to left field. It's going to go down the line up against the wall.
How's Mujica holding that thing?
Castillo is on his way to second, and he is in with a double. Ooh, even that was close. I don't know how he's holding it, but he might want to adjust the grip.
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, that's 3 rockets.
3 rockets. Little two-seamer 93 that was creeping in on the hands of Wellington Castillo. Nice play by Jay Up to make it close.
Orioles have an even 10 hits.
And for the most part, the Tigers been able to keep these O's bats quiet in the series. Not so much tonight.
Ball 1 to Rickard. Critical for Mujica now to strand that runner at second. Already down by 2. That's in there, a strike call right at the bottom of the zone.
I told you that the agent that worked for Beckham when he came out of high school is a good buddy of mine. And Kenny Felder out in Arizona. He told me that he drew comps to Hanley Ramirez coming out of high school in Georgia. That's how scouts viewed him. You know, most players are always compared to somebody else.
Sure.
And Hanley was his comp.
Foul ball down the right field line.
I think the analytics kind of got Tim Beckham in Tampa when he was drafted. I mean, there was an organization that really relied on a lot of 5-tool players. They drafted B.J. Upton. They drafted Carl Crawford. They had Rocco Baldelli. All those guys 5-tool players. Then they kind of flipped the script to analytics when Joe Madden was there, and a guy that struck out a lot, and Beckham struck out a lot. He didn't walk enough. He didn't hit many home runs, and he had a low on-base percentage. So he became expendable to the organization because he didn't grade out very high analytically.
Well, the Orioles sent a right-hander by the name of Tobias Myers over to the Rays, and he's an 18-year-old right-hand pitcher who really was not one of their top-tier prospects. They got themselves what is seemingly a pretty good player now. 2-2. Popped him up, but foul.
Back when the Rays first started playing, their general manager, his name was Chuck Lamar. And Chuck Lamar just loved athletic players, 5-tool players, like the players that I mentioned too, Crawfords and Uptons and Baldellis, and they drafted him as well because he was a 5-tool player. But as I said, they kind of changed. They started drafting more college players, not as many high school players these days. And I think a lot of organizations are that way. He's all smiles now, though, isn't he?
Why not? With the start he has gotten off to.
Got a little frohawk going.
Here's the 2-2. 3-2 the count.
Not faded on the side, but it's a little frohawk. Bald on the side. He got a little couple of parts in there too.
A frohawk.
Timothy Beckham.
Full count. Pulled fair down the line, right over the diving Castellanos. That'll get a run in, and Rickard will go into second with an RBI double. Five-2 ball game.
Another hard hit. And down the left field line. And for a double and an RBI for Rickard.
be a huge inning if Smith hadn't been thrown out at second. Tigers fortunately got that out. Here's Adam Jones now. "11 hits for the Orioles. Jones has 2 of them, double and a homer. Ground ball, left side, fielded there by Iglesias. That'll end the inning. 2 big runs, though, for the Orioles. Again, so he's had another big night here for the Orioles. 2 more hits for Tim Beckham. And now Zach Britton has a lead to work with. Craig Gentry has entered the game. He'll play left.
In all 5 games that Tim Beckham has played for his new team, the Baltimore Orioles, he has had at least 2 hits in every single game.
That's unreal. So Britton, who came on to get the final out of the 8th, goes to work here in the 9th. And Victor looks at a strike.
Pretty much threw all fastballs when he came in to get that final out of the 8th inning, and starts Victor off with a fastball at 95.
Here's the 0-1. 0-2 on Martinez. Tigers have Martinez, McCann, Ducey here in the 9th inning. It'll dart low and away at 96 miles an hour. 1-2.
It's been a long time since I've seen a closer that throws as hard as Britton does, but yet has the kind of sink that he has on that fastball. I mean, that thing is darting and diving all over the place once it gets into the hitting zone. It's tough to barrel up.
Just got a piece of it, staying alive.
And if you notice, the catcher, Wellington Castillo, he sets up right down the middle of the plate because you really don't know which way this sinker's going to go. Nine pitches, all of them 95 and above. up to the Tigers at least to make him work hard enough till Buck Showalter thinks about not using him tomorrow.
Yeah, good point. And Victor checked it low and inside. You mentioned that a lot of folks last year thought Britton should have been the Cy Young winner, or at least gotten heavy consideration. He did finish 4th in the voting. Porcello, Verlander, Kluber, and then Britton.
He had a special season. If he didn't get it last year as a closer, it's going to be tough for any closer to get it as we move forward.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He had 47 saves
in 47 chances.
And his ERA was 0.54. High chop left side of the infield. And out at first base, Machado throws to Victor. Anybody else? That's an infield hit. One gone. Well, here's the stat we talked about. He just doesn't go more than 1 inning very often. Only one of his 57 straight saves have been longer than 1 inning.
Well, it just kind of goes to tell you how important this game is for the Baltimore Orioles, for Buck Showalter to go get him in the top half of the 8th inning. Tigers threatening with a man in scoring position.
Ground ball to third. That's a fair ball for Machado. Sidearm throw is in time.
Hitting streak for McCann over at 14.
Here is the Ducey. Hicks for a Ducey. Orioles fans on their feet now looking for the final out. Hicks had that 3-run homer. And it went over the Yankees. Earlier on the road trip, he's the Tigers' last chance now. 300 batting average. Strike one. Hicks from the same hometown as Justin Verlander in Virginia. Buck doing some light reading now as he's closer trying to finish it out.
Trying to find out about Hicks.
Apparently he's pretty comfortable with Britton out there. Swing and a miss. Man, 97.
He's legit.
He's starting low and in. No chance on that swing. And the crowd of 33,911 sensing the final out. We'll see if Hicks can keep it alive. The 0-2. Outside 1-2.
It's almost like he turns that ball over when throwing the sinker, but yet still gets the kind of velocity that he gets at 96.
Here's a 1-2. Did he go? Negative. 2-2. Tigers need a base runner. So Britton is only at 16 pitches.
And just about all of them have been strikes, too. He's what they look like.
Got it. A 1-2-3 ninth inning. 4-out save for Britton, and the Orioles win 5-2. Now we send you to the Coliseum Studios, Mickey York with Tigers Live postgame.